Jesus.
Oh, grim.
I don't like that.
We have this convo. Religious fanatics and doomsday cultists of the Reject Nation. How's it going? It is Andrew Flashbangs Gordon and John Bang the Door Humphrey, and we're back for more Dexter. It's time for season 6, episodes 7 and 8. We're back on 2-episode streak. I don't know if you heard last week. You probably figured it out, though. So yeah, there's timestamps in the box below. But yeah, we're back.
Really is Armageddon. 2 episodes?
2 episodes, not 4, but you never know. We might go back
Professor
and forth
KIILLER
at some
was
point.
right.
Regardless, if you like these episodes, the best thing you can do is start off by leaving a like. If you have thoughts, leave them down in the comments. Share these videos as much as possible. We want to boost them up so we can keep going throughout the entirety of the Dexter catalog, canon, et al., and etc., and otherwise. Andrew,
John,
how are you feeling?
It's been a day. I'm doing all right, but yeah, I'm excited that we're here,
Yes.
and we're gonna do some Dexter. We're gonna
Quite a strange
actually,
day.
there was almost the Armageddon here apparently as well. So,
yeah.
but I'm glad we're gonna see what kind of Armageddon Dexter, Professor KIILLER, Travis, and the rest of the gang are gonna get into. So, how are you, my friend, John?
I'm good. I'm glad we didn't get exploded. And yeah, it's nice to be back with you. It's been an all right day. Obviously the schedule's been shifted all around, but it's been a decent pace, and luckily nothing was amiss. Actually, Andrew, you got anything else to tell the people before we do it?
I do not.
Let's do it, Andrew.
You said it all. Let's
do the
a-
thing. Leave a
count.
like.
Yeah.
We love it.
All right, episode 7, season 6. In a 3, a 2, and a 1.
Nebraska with oh God, who was in the movie Nebraska?
I've been lost
Never saw it.
before, after Rita died, after Lumen left.
Yeah.
But now I've been found.
Viney.
Brian Moser, my dead brother. It's been a long time since
They
I've
on
seen
the slice
him.
of life.
Yeah, probably. Too long. Ooh, he can respond to your monologue.
You used to love to play. Why the long face?
Brother Sam had hoped I'd be able to forgive Nick for shooting him.
Damn, just broad daylight too out here.
Brother Sam doesn't know you.
He's
like
being
Brother Brian
reckless.
Brother Brian.
does. You're a little glad to see me.
I feel
Relieved.
like maybe I can stop pretending.
Guy hardly looks like he is aged.
Oh,
Pretending
what a
there's any
great
light
shot
in
right
me.
there in the
Yeah,
long
the
shot. You
wide.
didn't even see the Viney there.
So great.
We don't have to go back. We
Uh-oh.
can keep going.
Oh no! Now you got a devil and angel.
It's
It's
Deborah.
Rudy and Harry, Viney and Harry,
One that got away.
Brian and Harry.
Hey, Deb, what's up?
Oh, the one that got away. Took me a moment to process that.
Oh,
We'll talk about this later.
I'll talk to you later.
I love how they keep intercutting between him being there and not being there.
We do love a device.
Closing the door must be serious.
I want your gun and your badge on my desk.
It's Trinity. He's back. He killed again.
What?
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 2 people.
What?
Family members, his wife, Sally Mitchell, and his daughter, Rebecca.
Huh?
What?
Whitpro placed the Mitchells in the middle of Bump, Nebraska, and somehow Trinity managed to track them down.
Well, not Trinity. You killed Trinity.
What about his son, Jonah?
Enough from the peanut gallery.
Trinity came after him too, but Jonah survived the attack.
You don't think it was
lucky.
Jonah, do
Can
you?
say what happened?
Must be.
Jonah came home from work and saw Trinity push Sally down the stairs and began to beat her.
According to Jonah?
Trinity ran, and Jonah went upstairs and found Rebecca dead in a tub.
Wow,
Oh.
the cycle repeats?
Or Jonah killed them and is masquerading as the Trinity Killer.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Damn, the
And this all
vicious cycle.
happened in Nebraska.
Some town called Kearney.
Road trip.
Road trip.
Not road chip.
Road chip.
Hard enough on you how to
Give me
share
a
it.
chipmunk
Top it
theme
off with
Dexter
this.
theme.
Let's go, Jonah.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Maybe this is where he can work on his forgiveness?
Take the day.
Yeah, dude. Take the day. Go kill that boy. Oh my God. I knew. They put him in the recap. I was like, oh, what? Huh?
Yeah, I was wondering that too.
Carnival.
What was the hint though?
Usually when you come to stay with me, there's some problem that you need help with.
That mug looks like a little flower pot.
I can't, for the life of me, figure out how to turn off the predictive text on my phone. Do you have any idea how to do that?
What?
I texted my boss that I had 2 tickets to Jizz Fest. Boss thinks I'm out tracking down an ancient manuscript from a private collector.
Fascinating architecture in this kitchen with the paint.
You sure you can't get the whole day off?
Parent-teacher conferences are a bitch to reschedule. I'll only be a few hours.
Oh.
I never realized how tall he is.
It's like Michael Myers out there.
Jesus.
He's like if Michael Myers was
done.
also Dr. Loomis.
With you, with everything.
God is the one with choice, Travis.
Oh, shit.
He chose you and me. We, however, have no say.
Free will?
What about free will?
Oh, please. Let me inside.
Dude, me and Colin, Travis, we're on the same wavelength.
Until this little detour of yours is over, I will carry on his work for the both of us.
Oh, no. What's going to drive him back?
Severed femoral artery. She bled out in minutes.
Jesus.
Dang.
Razor blade?
Check.
Mirror?
Check.
Yeesh.
Sally Mitchell.
Yeah, he's...
She was pushed down the stairs, but that's not what killed her. She suffered blunt force traumas to the head, neck, and chest.
Damn, Jonah.
Girl dead in a bathtub, a mom pushed and bludgeoned. Kind of an efficient little combo pack there. Jonah's been a very good student.
Sloppy work. He didn't get the MO right.
Jonah climbs in the tub behind her, cuts off her airway, opens her artery. Now, mommy is kind of genius.
Dude,
Jonah
this
to
is so
bludgeon her up the
intriguing, having
staircase. Why?
a dark and sinister subconscious.
Because the cast-off pattern is consistent with Trinity's height.
Jonah stands on the highest step, and suddenly he's as tall as good old dad.
Ugh.
Kid has some
We gotta
real
mold him,
talent.
shape him.
It's in his blood.
Son of a
Do
serial
what we failed to do with
becomes
that
the
kid
killer.
from
What are
season
the
1.
odds?
It was like a double entendre there when he said that.
Let's go
Yeah.
play in your room.
Oh, no.
Cute kid.
Blood, I
My
don't like
nephew.
it. I don't like it's in his blood. All right, cool it, Unk.
He's a mere 30 hours from Miami FLA.
31 if you must stop along the way.
What about DDK? Miami Metro could get to them first.
They're not even close. When you 86 Trinity, you gave Jonah the perfect alibi to get away with murder.
So I'm a little, responsible for this happening?
Your life is nothing but responsibility. Look around.
Great power, Dexter.
Sippy cups, poopy diapers, baby monitors. You've been domesticated.
Oh, trying to domesticate you.
Come on, Dexter. When was the last time you
the
had
lighting.
fun?
Dude. Midlife crisis road trip.
Thanks for coming over on such short
Amy?
notice.
No problem.
I shouldn't be gone more than 4 or 5 days.
Oh my, oh my, oh my.
The first chapter of my dissertation's due next week, and I never get anything done at home, especially when Angel's there. Brother Sam, isn't it? You miss him?
Yeah, I do.
Where you going?
I'm not sure. Maybe down to the Keys, wherever the road takes me.
Have fun. Get you to bed.
Aw.
Wow, love, really?
Bro.
It's weird seeing you as a kid.
Let's go to Nebraska.
There's a weird, like, upbeat energy about this. It's like ironically fun tone. Bonnie and
Starting
Bry.
your mornings off right, George's Heart of Heart Rock hit
Oh.
96.
Cool transition,
What percentage of murders is by color?
bro.
I created a separate category for the Doomsday Killer murders.
So that those unsolved cases don't count against your clearances?
Bro.
What is your division's clearance rate?
42%.
Add back in
My
the
God.
open DDK murders, and your clearance rate drops to?
Ugh.
29%. But I can explain.
Numbers can't hear you. Moving on.
Wow, look, we're at a cold.
6 of those murders happened on your watch before I took over.
Clearance rates, it's a running total. It doesn't matter who's in the lieutenant's position.
What?
Wow.
It doesn't matter then what was that in there because it felt personal.
That was my first ComStat hearing as a captain.
Yeah, so I got.
Oh,
be a hard
yeah,
ass.
even though
Ugh.
I was the one accountable, let me... oh, my...
Look, I don't know what happened between you and Quinn, but I lost a relationship because of this job. And I take great comfort in the pure objectivity of numbers. At ComStat, there's no age, no gender, no feelings.
Hey,
Improve your numbers and everything will change, I promise you.
dude, they are
Keep it
truly
simplistic.
woke.
You will crash and burn.
Oh my. Oh my goodness. As much as LaGuerta has been less sympathetic in apparent terms, this is a CG car, isn't it? Like, I do appreciate the nuances, especially in a scene like that.
Just got handed to me on a paper plate at that ComStat hearing. DDK is either going to make my career or end it. I need your help.
I know, but I'm in the car with your fiance. Or ex-fiance.
We need the Avengers, man. They're the only ones going to stop Doomsday. Dude, what if this is all connected and Robert Downey Jr. appears? That's what Edward James Olmos and Colin
That's
Hanks are doing. They're
we've
going to
been
resurrect Robert Downey Jr.
We've been theorizing about this for a few days now.
Oh my God, get me them chos. Let's get some chos. Oh my. Hey there, Tiger.
She's cute.
Ugh. Ugh.
No, I keep telling you no.
Oh, is
I told you. I don't like when your mom's home.
so Brian's gonna be all of his animal instincts.
I gotta go.
Oh my God. Oh my God, Dexter, what are we doing? What
Smile,
What are we doing here? Ugh.
You know, if it's any consolation, I think boundaries are good in a relationship.
Is that right?
Uh-oh.
I, for example, would never anyone if my mom were home. Or I should say if my adoptive mother were home. I could never anyone if my actual mother were home because she was in front of me when I was 3.
Pickup line, bro.
I don't see any mothers around here, do you?
Oh my God.
Damn, smooth.
Let's get it. Let's get it. We sell the, we sell. It's just Brian out here. It's funny.
That was...
Rad.
Thanks.
It was rad. Thank you.
Nice job.
I got what I wanted.
Nachos and a gun. Ho, ho, ho. I would love if Brian whoa. Whoa, whoa. Whoa.
Damn.
This is an unhinged episode.
This is legal in this state, right?
Yes, it's encouraged, in fact. You shouldn't drive without at least one gun in hand. See, what he's practicing here is called 10 and 6. That is there are some fascinating CG elements in here. This is so
A twister would do this town a favor.
my man, he's got jokes.
We need to bring Thor and the Destroyer into town.
Yeah. Been a while. Comment below. I know I should remember every detail.
I remember he gave him a hammer, though, right?
Yeah, he did. Whoa.
Whoa.
Oh my God, he's practicing for I know what
you
you
did
did last summer.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Kyle Butler.
It is time.
Dude, Kyle Butler is back. Kyle Butler will return.
After Rita Morgan died, Kyle Butler's face was all over the news as her grieving husband. Decided as a family that you tried to help us. We tried to help you.
That's...
Yeah, but why did you lie about who you were?
I was trying to protect my family.
Didn't
I suspected
work.
your dad was the Trinity Killer. I thought I could bring him to justice.
You did. It was just too late.
Or he killed again. I wanted to be a hero.
Abused you guys that much more.
That's what got Rita killed.
Father ruined both our lives.
Yeah.
What happened here, Jonah?
What I really think happened.
This I want to hear.
Did you see your father?
And I heard him before I saw him fighting with my mom at the top of the stairs.
Huh.
No, he looked at me. I started hitting her with my hockey stick, and I grabbed it and fought him off. He ran.
What?
I went to my mom.
Maybe he's having, like, how
went
Viney's in
went
his head
upstairs,
right
and
now?
that's
He's
when I
having the
found
same
that.
type
Like-
of thing with his dad?
Maybe. That's a good call, yeah.
What a performance.
Yeah.
Jonah, I'm sorry
You're sorry?
for your loss.
Well, I'm sorry for your loss, too.
It's a good story
Now, is that why you
in
came all the
fully
way out here
suspecting
to tell
him,
me
but it's
that?
like it's a good cover despite that.
Gonna be okay.
Oh, you sure about that?
And go back to Miami. It's over.
Dude, he is a different...
Let go. It's over. Nobody listen
I'd
to
say the
Tech
fun
No.
is just beginning.
He is just a completely different person, understandably so, after the events that have unfolded.
Yeah, dude. His goodness just like snapped
Denise
back
took
in
a
the
statement
opposite
from a
direction.
woman at St. Joseph. Says she was chained up for a few days from someone called the Professor.
Was her name Marianne or Ginger?
No, it's Holly.
Holly Wheeler?
One of them kept calling the other Professor. I didn't see either of them. I was blindfolded.
There were 2 of them.
The younger guy is the one who let me go. I sort of could tell that he was the weaker of the two.
I left her at the beach.
Aw, shots fired.
Holly,
Oh,
you're safe.
no,
What do you call you?
Don't make her say it. Oh.
They didn't touch me except when they chained me, and the professor, I think, would jam his knee behind my neck
Oh my God.
and hold my head so that I couldn't close my mouth. And then he would pour the stuff into it.
Ah.
And the younger guy kept saying that he was sorry, so sorry for doing this to me.
What'd they make you drink?
It was cold and it made me puke, but it tasted like metal. I think it was blood.
Yeah. Is he feeding you his blood?
There's probably no way to get a sample of that blood. Jamie said she was watching Harrison for a few days.
Yeah, Dexter needed a break, so he just... Did Jamie mention where he was going?
No, but it was part of a larger conversation about a date she has with Lewis.
Oh.
Oh.
The dude we're not sure of?
Yeah.
The guy who's Masuka's tool all day long is gonna be sexing up your sister.
You get hold of Dexter, find me.
Dude, I'm worried with that guy.
Dude.
Deborah. Really worth it, Dexter? What is it with you and her?
Oh.
Feel like I ran over a nail or something.
Oh, you can hear it.
Let's pull over. Find base camp anyway.
Ooh, a motel.
This looks good.
Say affable rates.
Did he run over a nail or did Jonah do something to the tire?
Jonah's in the trunk. He's gonna jump out and push him off a high. I don't know. He's gonna take him up on the roof and then push him off.
If I can just get your signature right there. Keep that pen if you want.
Sick, thanks.
That'd be $39.
Huh?
Please and thank you.
That's good advertising, my guy.
Yeah, I saw from your plates that you're from Florida. Must be happy to get out of there. What I see on the news is that Miami's a real sewer.
Why does that actor look so familiar?
Oh man.
People say the world is ending.
Crazy.
Crazy. This is.
So what brings you to these parts?
I'm following the Oregon Trail.
Oh, I love that game.
So partial to the great outdoors. What is it you do back in Florida?
Landscaping. Can you point me to the nearest garage? I have a flat.
Oh, I can patch that for you.
You can do that?
Yeah, I'm pretty handy here.
Unlike us city people.
Gonna have to go to this hotel one day.
No, I cannot.
I'm happy to help. I'll give you a good deal, too. How about $20?
Sign me up.
It's a deal.
Beam me up, Scotty.
About how long do you think?
It shouldn't take me more than a while. Town's not too far. If you want to grab a bite, just follow the road. It'll take you directly there.
I'm gonna use that line from now on. It's not gonna take me more than a while. I like that.
I like this guy.
What?
But I also don't know if he's about to take a turn I'm not gonna like so much. Uh-oh. Don't bother the old scarecrow.
Shortcut?
Lead the way.
Dude, he be watching you. No.
Where's the creeper, John?
That silo looks better.
Yes.
This is this episode is fascinating. I do like a weird plot detour and tonal detour, but also I'm still actively processing this more than normally.
It's a little farm.
Yeah, buddy.
Now I see why Shady Norm wanted
And
us to
quick,
stay on the
invite
road.
Quinn and Angel.
Yeah.
Fellow, hasn't he?
Yeah. Get the Miami Metro blunt rotation going. Dude, it could be the beginning of Jason 2009, Dexter versus Jason.
Yes.
Oh.
Stay away.
Oh my. Poor Gator. Oh my goodness.
There were some pictures of this beast in Geller's sketchbook. I blew them up a little. Looks like a dragon.
He's gonna rig it on top of a motorcycle.
So, in addition to being arraigned in purple and scarlet, we'll be drunk with the blood of the saints.
Oh.
Drunk on the blood of the saints.
Travis
Were they making
blood?
her drink their blood?
If they consider themselves saints.
Oh yeah, we saw. That's right. You're right. Totally forgot about that.
How do we get an ID on him?
Well, Geller taught at Tallahassee for 12 years. 400 students per year, 4,800 names, 2,400 if you exclude females.
Damn, dude. Math.
To stop the next murder from happening is to get a name on Geller's accomplice and a haystack of 2,400 potential suspects.
I'll work on it.
I would kill myself, but it would add to my total for the month.
At least we're closer to catching him than we were this morning.
Yeah, I feel a lot better. Fuck is Dexter.
Feel a lot better with you in my arms.
I promise I won't tell anyone.
Well, how do I know I can trust you?
I don't like it.
Oh,
Seal it with a kiss.
That kiss is the contract, you know.
I was gonna say, get it notarized. Stamp your lips. Oh my god, no.
Oh, the video game.
Totally got my brother.
Oh my god.
Game is modeled on the department, so if he's lead on a case, then he's kind of the star, yeah.
You're really smart.
I know.
Is it like L.A. Noire where you have to like read facial expressions and note like
I only played a little bit of that game.
vocal inflections and shit?
Hi, where's Dexter?
On a trip.
Where did he go?
I don't know. Have you tried calling him?
About 1,000 times.
If you could go somewhere else, where would it be?
I've never been to Portland.
Dude.
Jamie, what's wrong?
Where in Fucktopia are you?
Deb, hi. I can barely hear you. The reception's terrible.
We had a breakthrough on the DDK case. You could have asked me before you just took off.
You offered me some time off.
Dude.
I meant the afternoon, not 5 fucking days to go wherever it is that you are.
Oh no.
I'm your sister.
Oh.
That I'll be back as soon as I can. I'm sorry, you're breaking up.
Oh.
We gotta do Jonah's now. Let's go.
Goody.
I do love the hairy subconscious more than anything, but this is really keeping me.
It is a fun turn.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of that manic season 2 energy right now. This guy has a lot of presence, but I don't know. It's weird. It's like I don't trust him, except he's picking up on like the shadiness that Dexter is currently enacting. So
There it is, 1965 Walnut Street.
Home of the family formerly known as the Mitchells.
This reminded me when he pulled up to the Mitchells in the first place.
You want to kill him here or just lie in wait?
The Nightmare on Nut Street.
Neither.
Then what are we doing here?
I don't know for sure that he's guilty.
We'll forgive him.
Harry's code. Why it matters if a person is good or bad. Does it make you feel better to kill bad people?
Yes.
The code is more than that. It's kept me from getting caught.
Yeah.
It's given me a life.
A life that is a big fat lie, just like Jonah's story. What more proof do you need that Jonah's guilty?
I'm like, the only reason I'm sort of like wondering if Jonah didn't do it is because it just seems so likely that he did it.
Yeah.
Maybe Jonah made a rookie mistake.
Oh no. What did you do with the
Whoever it is also took my forensic kit.
Now that I don't miss so much.
Who's what the fudge? What?
All right, we'll take you to a galaxy far, far
It's
away.
the Midwest. Nobody locks their doors.
Huh? Yeah, because everyone has got a shotgun. All right, Midwesterners, comment below. Do you have a lock? Do you know how it works?
This was also 2011.
Do you
so-
use the lock?
Wow, there's no pictures of their dad. Makes sense. I would
There's
not
no
want
blood anywhere.
Bleach, he cleaned up.
Huh? He's learned wisely.
Rebecca died in the bathtub upstairs.
Why aren't we setting up a kill room?
He's your id.
This is where Jonah would have had to stand to make it look like his father beat his mother to death.
Try it. Take a pretend swing.
Oh.
Not the best cleanup job I've ever seen. This is the kitchen.
I'm making a test for bleach, which I wouldn't have to do if my forensic kit hadn't been stolen.
I like how that guy gave him a pen that said this pen's been stolen from this jail as he then steals his stuff.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Get the out of my house. Police can be here in 3 minutes.
Here is where our body was, and here.
Oh.
It was here, right? Where you took the weapon from him and hit him, chasing him off?
Yeah.
Here, but there's no spatter here.
Yeah, that's because I cleaned it up. Now go.
With bleach?
Yes.
Ooh.
Not on this wall, because there was no blood on this wall, because your father was never here.
Ooh.
Yeah, because he could.
I know for a fact that Trinity did not kill anyone in this house.
I killed him.
Ooh.
Ooh, dude, he's scary.
Is that because you killed him?
Oh, shit.
Yes, just like you killed your mother and your sister.
Oh, this is getting interesting.
Whoa. Whoa.
Weird. This is weird. This is weird. Oh, no. I got such a bad feeling about all of this. Howdy, neighbor.
Satisfied?
Let's go set up a kill room.
That's my baby brother.
What about your knives, Dexter? You're gonna need them.
Yeah, you're gonna need your knives out.
I don't know. I'd say he gets the glass onion.
Nah, that's a good way to go.
I think Jonah and this guy might be working. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows, Jonald?
Huh?
He's in the shed.
How do you know that? I mean, I know you're part of, I guess, a personification of Dexter's hyper-observant skills, but...
Real interest in Florida, you know that? All these potions and solutions in this kit found in your car, and these knives of yours.
Why did you look in my trunk?
Ain't exactly landscaping tools now, are they?
I'd like them back.
See, I know you saw what I was growing out there in that cornfield.
I love that voice.
You know what's going on here.
I don't care about that.
Really? And what are you doing here?
Yeah, dude, I don't give a shit.
Obviously has some sort of desk job. Those hands of yours are so smooth.
Yeah.
With the
Please rub
You got
BA.
city hands,
Would you
Mr.
put the knife
Morgan.
down and we can talk?
What are they worth to you? I can see you have some money by that fancy car of yours. Knives like those of yours would be worth $10,000 to you.
Damn.
Found this in your car, too. $10,000, please and thank you.
$10,000 for me by myself.
I'd take it. Wake up, dead man. We got him. All 3 Knives Out references.
Oh, what?
Damn, Brian. Yeah, what are we doing here? How does this? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, but he just took a a man who was in it, even though he was embracing the dark side, John.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh, it's like
a kill.
It's like American Gothic.
A little too much talking for my taste. Did you see his eyes?
I mean, he did have the guns pointed on him for sure.
Why do you wake up your victims when they're on the table?
I want them to know what they've done.
Bullshit. You like to watch the light go out of their eyes.
You want to be the one to deliver the info.
Doesn't make a bit of difference if they're guilty or not.
Oh, man.
How do you feel?
Like anything is possible.
Violated the code of Harry.
Always wanted for you.
No.
Where do we go from here?
No.
Jonah. And then what, Dexter?
And then we keep going.
Of course!
But first things first.
First things first, stupid.
Norm's a thief, a pot grower, and an asshole. Any one of which would explain his death. You just leave his body out in the open.
It was a drug deal gone bad.
That's a better idea.
Oh.
Bury him in the grain silo.
Yeah. I'll throw him into frame, please.
It's a great music cue, too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hope you took a souvenir.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Aww. My mentor. Dude, man. From self-help guru to religious zealot. Different, like, twisted mentors in these last couple seasons.
He's got a book about optimism. Wow.
Wowie.
That is quite a shrine.
He said you'd be back.
Nice to see you, Travis. I thought you were done with me.
These are your things. I wanted them
Is
out
it
of my
nice?
apartment.
Is anything nice?
Would have been a little bit easier if you just dumped them in the trash, wouldn't it?
I thought bringing them here would give me closure.
Oh.
And?
Closure. Sounds like you went from reading the Bible to reading the self-help books. You really came here because you secretly
George
wanted
Chase.
me to beg.
Take it!
Please, Travis, come back to me.
I didn't come here to have you beg.
How about a story then?
Huh.
I read one the other day in the paper about a little girl in California who was abducted.
Oh, good.
They raped her and then they killed her and then they dumped her into the woods.
Don't tell
There was
me.
another story about someone who
Whoa.
set off a bomb in Pennsylvania. 11 people were killed, 20 maimed.
Jesus.
That's why the world as it is has to end.
Stop talking.
Yeah, we need a cleansing.
Unless we put a stop to it.
No.
You shut up!
The sins of the few damn all.
What you want to do, Travis?
What I want is to be free.
I'll talk to God.
Careful, Dave.
Release you.
I can go.
You know where the door is.
God. In control the whole time.
You're looming.
Looming. Oh, shouts out.
Came to apologize. I apologize for being an asshole.
How about sleeping with a material witness?
And I apologize for posing to.
Oh, wow.
I just thought it was something people did after a while, you know? Behind a coffee table.
Oh.
We never bought a coffee table.
We talked about it.
And we couldn't talk about getting married?
Oh.
We did have something good, right? I mean, I'm not crazy, am I?
Oh, buddy.
We had something good.
Something great.
You could patch it up.
There's times when I come home and I still expect to see you there.
Oh.
And everything's so neat and clean. And it hits me all over again.
Yeah, your heart drops into your...
Look where it is office.
Fuck, I know, right?
Your own.
It still feels like our office. I think that's why I haven't unpacked anything.
You got to unpack? Let's unpack it together. Let's unpack everything from the top of your desk.
About this before anyone.
I made that difficult.
Yeah, but you were hurt.
Oh.
Look at that. Both being so understandable.
I really miss you, Deb.
Sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like the last day my life made any sense was the last day I spent with you.
Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, you too.
Oh.
Yeah, it's hard. Oh.
Yeah, it's complicated.
Oh, I hate it.
We can't.
Yeah, you saw what happened last season.
We're over, aren't we?
Oh.
Like, over.
Oh. Well, and after everything and how the both of them can be, like, to have a scene where they can amicably just talk it over is beautiful.
Dexter, can we talk about this?
Sure, Jonah.
Maybe somewhere private. I was thinking the shop's closed.
I'll meet you there.
Jonah doesn't want to chit-chat, you know.
I know. There's every reason to want to kill me. I'm the one person who knows what he did.
All that chit-chat's gonna get you hurt.
Shouldn't have come to Nebraska.
I had to. I couldn't believe it.
That I turned into a killer like my father.
Yes, I thought I set you free.
Nope.
I wanted to kill myself.
Damn.
But you'll settle for killing your mom and your sister.
Yeah, and you.
Whoa! Bro.
Kill me!
What did you say?
Please.
Yeah.
Kill me for what I did.
Yeah, you're too tortured. You just want to be free.
Tell me what happened.
Who cares what happened?
I didn't kill Becca. She killed herself.
Ouch.
Found her like that in the tub, my baby sister.
Oh no.
God, I should have gotten her out of that house sooner. She couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah, from the brief glimpse we got of her story, I believe, like, oh my God.
Now she blamed us for everything he did. She was still in love with him. She kept defending him.
Oh my God, no.
She just wished she would come and whisk her away to Thailand or Mexico. And I found Becca.
Yeah.
And I exploded on Mom. I kept hitting her over and over, just like Dad.
Jeez, the intensity.
Yeah.
I'm my father's son.
Time to put him down, Dexter.
No, teach him the code. Adopt him.
You brought me here to provoke a fight, hoping I would kill you.
Death by Dexter. Fantastic idea.
What if this were my son?
We have come so far.
He's not a monster.
Don't you want to see the light in his eyes go out?
No.
Huh?
Think how
Hell yeah.
good it will feel.
He has a conscience.
Yeah, it's not the same.
This is the wishy-washy part of you I can't stand.
Uh-oh.
Bunny's mad.
Ooh, just walk right through him.
Never all over again.
Whoa.
You're weak.
I'm stronger than you.
Ugh, fighting with your subconscious. So fascinating.
I'm going home.
Whoa, boy.
How am I supposed to live with this?
Oh, come on. Give him some.
Forgive yourself.
Damn.
Oh,
okay, cool.
That was cool.
I wonder if this episode is divisive. So far, I like it.
I like it too.
I created a program that cross-referenced former students of Geller with people living in a 20-mile radius of Miami. 200 names.
Oh,
Thank you,
damn.
I think.
I think.
If you want to ride to work, I'm leaving in 7 minutes.
Not 6?
Not 8.
I'll be ready.
Is that a thing they do?
Brother Sam believed light can keep darkness at bay, but I wonder if darkness is defined by light. If so, darkness can exist on its own.
Yeah, it's a delicate balance.
There must, by definition, be light somewhere.
Yeah.
Waiting to be found.
Welcome back, Harry.
I do like this motif, this metaphor of the road trip, the walkabout.
Welcome home, son.
Yeah. It's a great.
I did like an episode though of having that dark subconscious with Bryony. That was nice, but
Was
Harry
literally his passenger for the ride, you know?
Yeah.
Like, not to say that his dark passenger is always Brian, but yeah, like, for it to be the kind of full personification makes a lot of sense. All right. Season 6, episode 8, incoming, gang.
Sin of
omission. Oh, no, what would have been better if I didn't say it.
Kids
But
trust
Oh.
everybody.
Let me have the pink donuts are always a win for me. Oh my God, that looks really good.
keep your eye on the donut,
Hello.
not the hole.
They trust the food you're giving them is safe to eat.
Harrison.
This way, buddy.
They trust you to lead the way.
Dude, he's like the most adorable little kid.
The usual today, 2 coffees. And what's good for an apology?
Male or female?
My sister.
Is this the donut place that he brought in the first episode? Remember when he brought the donuts, or is this a different one?
Definitely the same one.
Thanks, Francisco.
It's just been so long.
Francisco.
Well, look what the fucking cat dragged in.
The cat also brought coffee and donuts.
All right, you're forgiven.
You have 5 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Some of us actually have to show up for work.
Ouchie.
I'm sorry. I took off like that. I
It's Trinity, man.
really needed to get away.
Want to get away.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Everybody thinks I gave you a week off in the middle of this DDK shitstorm, which is only slightly better than them knowing that I didn't give you a week off.
You gone for a whole week for real?
I took advantage of you.
Yeah, you did.
I really am sorry.
Oh, Healing can begin.
Looks like this chick, Holly Benson, was taken by DDK. She got chained up, was held hostage.
I'm telling you, it's RDJ.
Yes.
They dumped her in some parking lot.
They?
Turns out there are two of these, Geller and some other guy. He's the one that let her bit go. I think he might be a former student.
He encountered one.
Seems like Travis Marshall isn't my secret anymore. Wow. 2 of them.
There's 2 of them now. Professor Geller.
I remember that day.
Oh, shit. Bro.
What are you doing here? You said I was free.
And you are. You traded your place in God's plan for the pathetically mundane.
I had breakfast.
Your sister treated you like a child. No friends, no faith. Your life was of no consequence. And were you happy?
It's not like that now.
This constantly manipulates him.
Beautiful, isn't it? All it needs is the right.
Travis!
Oh, no. Come back to me or it will be your sister.
I bet she looked lovely in red.
Oh, no.
Dog.
You stay the fuck away.
I know that, whoa.
You still have the trash bag?
Are you taking that out?
Yeah, I'll just
I'll do it later.
Weird.
How many people here can say that Brother Sam changed my life?
Me. Literally, he's a character I'm going to think about whenever I'm having a moral dilemma.
Let us always keep him in our hearts. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not be in want. He makes me lie down in green pastures.
God, that Bible.
He guides me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death,
I shall fear no evil. That I did know.
Everyone knows that one line.
Brother Sam used to always say that no matter what the problem is, the answer's in here. You just have to figure out the question.
Keep it, man. Keep it as a totem.
Have you seen Nick lately?
Nick?
Yeah, disappeared after Sam passed away.
Yeah. I don't think you're going to see him.
Maybe he wanted some time
A lot
alone.
of
Or
time
maybe I
alone.
drowned him right where Brother
No way.
Sam's ashes are floating.
We remember.
Is it possible that Brother Sam changed me?
It had some kind of an impact.
I didn't kill Jonah when I had the chance. Did Sam somehow bring out a little bit of light in me?
I was thinking that in that moment.
You got to let it shine.
And did I pass that light on to Travis as well? Is that why he let Holly go?
Hello, Travis.
You did the right thing.
Oh.
I know who you are. I remember your voice.
I'm not here to hurt you.
You were in my car. You tried to kill me.
But I let you go, just like you let Holly Benson go.
Uh-huh.
I didn't want to see her suffer.
I've seen people suffer before.
What you said to me made me think.
Think what?
That I don't have to do what he says.
Be your own man.
I told him I'm done. I'm not working with him anymore.
How did Geller take it?
Not very well. He's angry. He won't leave me alone.
Why not just tell the police?
Because I'll go to prison forever.
I helped him do horrible things. They'd arrest me.
My life would be over.
I am a good person. I thought we were doing the right thing.
It doesn't justify what
I
you've
made a
done.
mistake.
A lot of mistakes.
Just because I'm not working with him does not mean that I will work with you.
All
One
you have
time.
to do is tell me where he is. I'll take care of the rest.
You don't know who you are dealing with.
Yeah, it's Dexter.
He will finish his mission, and he will kill anyone who tries to stop him.
And then what? Assuming the world doesn't end.
Probably an accidental death, but Emmy will tell us more.
No, Dexter will tell us more right now.
Look at the pattern. Sort of a zigzag. It starts this way, suggesting that she fell in this position. The blood dries and then it changes direction.
So it's moved.
Her head were turned, then moved back, suggesting the body was lifted and then repositioned.
He's like, you know a lot about this kind of stuff.
Broken rib.
Could have been the EMTs.
She was long gone when the maid found her. EMTs didn't attempt CPR.
Weird.
She ODs, hits her head, she dies. And someone comes in, sees her,
Turns her.
causing more blood to come out of her nose. Tries CPR, but he cracks her rib because he's panicked.
Yeah.
Realizes that he's just causing more blood to flow from that head wound, so he stops.
Puts the body back where he found her and wipes everything clean.
And pieces the fudge out.
Someone call the captain over here.
No, why?
Because she's here.
What are we doing? What are we doing? What? Look, Bertha, what are we doing?
We have a list of male Tallahassee graduates living in the Miami area that have taken classes with him. We have over 200 names to investigate. So I'm going to take some myself.
Just 200.
We don't know who he is. Let's keep it that way.
How do I get Travis to trust me before the cops get to his name on the list?
Yeah, I would inform Travis, say, hey, dude, they're onto you.
What a way to make it up to you.
There's a new place opening on Washington. Opening night's invitation only. Guess who's got 2 of these?
Hey.
I've got Audi on Friday night.
Audi always cancels on you.
Take Masuka.
You're lucky.
Yeah. Take Mazuka. Can't imagine the two of them hanging out.
I got your
Oh,
text.
shit.
Oh, yeah, we were just in the neighborhood. Want to maybe go for a walk with us?
Yeah, sure. You just tell Mr. Masuka.
Mr. Masuka. Respect.
You should come to dinner with us.
I don't know.
No, if you're
Yeah.
going to judge him, then maybe you should have some idea who you're talking about first.
Yeah. Let's do this again.
Adults are not always so fortunate. Travis is my only way to Geller. I have to convince him to help me. Maybe I need to learn to speak his language.
Gotta read that whole Bible, front to back, cover to cover.
Oh, if there's one thing about Dexter, he's very persistent.
You've wandered from God's path.
I was led astray.
Oh, now he's talking his language.
Says here, anyone then who knows the good he ought to do
And doesn't do sins.
Hey. Hey.
If you allow Professor Geller to continue doing what he's doing according to James,
You're a sinner.
much of a sin is doing the killings yourself.
True.
I know. I wish that I could take it all back.
Well, you have a chance to do something now.
But now I can't risk antagonizing him. I can protect you. It's not me that I'm worried about. It's my sister.
Oh, yeah.
As long as Geller's out there, she's still in danger.
I can protect her.
What if you can't?
Seems very tenuous as a prospect at all.
I'll try to convince Lisa to go to her friends up in Pensacola for the weekend. Geller won't leave Miami. Let me get her safe, and then I promise we'll do whatever you say.
Damn, dude. And he left a tip. Classy.
Travis is my brother, but he's not here right now. Can I help you with something?
Oh, shit.
We're investigating a
crap.
college
Oh, shit.
professor, James Geller.
Oh, no.
The Doomsday Killer. Oh my God, Travis, has something happened?
No, we're just looking into former associates of his. He must have been pretty shaken up when he found out an old professor was a murder suspect.
Well, Travis isn't really the type to talk about how he feels about things.
I know that with
Not
my
even
brother.
to his sister.
He's a good repressed Catholic boy.
The ME report came back in on Jessica Moore. Cause of death was the overdose.
Check that shit off.
'Cause
Numbers.
It's not a homicide.
Because the case can be closed as an accident, which means you have one less homicide.
Killing the game.
Wait, why were you looking at the ME's report on that?
That's why she said good.
Your plate is so full with DDK. Came across my desk and I took a look at it.
Don't undermine me.
Will you do me a favor and put a rush on Jessica Morris's blood report?
Weird is acting weird.
Weird how?
She's being helpful.
Uh-huh.
I just want to see what she's up to.
I'm on it.
That's definitely weird.
Stop following me. Sorry, Travis. We don't have time for your little journey to find yourself. We have work to do.
Whoa!
Yeesh, clunking 'em.
Shit.
My sister's a really nice girl. She has a hard time saying no.
He's so protective.
So she dates a lot of guys?
She's young. She's in school. She's not in a place in her life to be taking anybody too seriously.
Oh, no.
Now, you seem like a nice guy.
Oh, no. Yeah. The piece. Get a good look.
I just wouldn't want to see you get hurt.
Wow.
If I do my job and I investigate a possible homicide, then I piss off Captain Close It. And if I close it, this guy walks.
Maybe you should talk to LaGuardia.
You're gonna mess up our report.
Either way, I have to sign this fucking blood report. Do you have a pen?
Where is it?
Don't get the one that you stole from
Nebraska one?
freaking
The
Nebraska.
Here.
Oh.
Nor.
D.
Nor.
Why do you have a pen from the Shady Lane Motel at Kearney, Nebraska?
I bought it off Amazon.
I must have picked it up somewhere.
Yeah, at the Shady Lane Motel in Kearney, Nebraska. Nebraska is where Trinity's family was murdered.
Okay, yes, I went to Nebraska.
Why?
Yes, I just felt drawn there.
Did you talk to Jonah?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
I don't know, Deb. We both lost people we loved to the same killer. I just felt a connection with him, and I needed someone to talk to.
Dealing with the loss of his family.
I don't want to burden you.
Burden me my ass. I burden you all the time. It's not a burden for me to be there for you.
I know, but you're like wicked busy. But logistically, you're super busy.
Dexter, don't you think I get it? I lost Lundy because of Trinity too.
Yeah, dude.
That's a good point. I wasn't even thinking about that. Oh, it is the sister.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that. I hate that.
Oh, you're right. It is the sister. Damn it.
Wow.
Wait,
wow.
I interviewed her yesterday.
Travis just shot to the top of Miami Metro Homicide's most wanted list. Did Travis go back to Geller, or was this the price Travis paid for defying him?
Yes.
That was the price.
Well, and he's probably back now.
A ripped seam, FN Galway. This used to be some kind of vestment, a robe, maybe.
A little Smith & Wesson knife.
It's your card.
Oh, Jesus
Oh.
Christ. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, grim.
I don't like that.
Maybe it doesn't mean anything.
These assholes are all about messages. You think it's because I talked to her?
Oh, no,
This
Deb.
isn't your fault, Deb.
No.
I'm really worried now for Deb.
Do not talk about my sister. Your sister, whom you hold in such high esteem.
Wow, look at that reflection.
Police.
That looks like an authentic reflection, too.
She betrayed you, just like the Babylon.
What did you do to my sister?
Oh, no.
She didn't tell the police anything.
Oh.
No!
That was a good no. They screamed too.
All right, they were just normal brother and sister.
Yeah.
She was doomed to hell on earth.
Oh, you can feel this man's rage.
But now, her soul is pure. She can go to God,
Oh.
just like you wanted. And you can come back to our mission.
Oh.
I hear DDK is struck again.
We have a bolo out on Travis Marshall. Everyone in the city's gonna know what he looks like.
Meanwhile, you now have 2 suspects and no arrests.
Bro, not helping.
Actually, I was coming to talk to you about Jessica Morris.
I thought we.
Why hasn't that case been closed?
Because I saw Dexter's report. Someone else was in the room.
The woman overdosed, Deborah. What does it matter who else was in the room?
Deborah, you're ruining our report.
Being young and personable and saying bad words on TV just is not going to cut it right now. Trust me.
Oh, my God.
Find the man who killed 4 innocent people, not some John who bailed on a fucking who overdosed.
Dude, that doesn't make her life any less.
I'll close it.
Good.
Oh, LaQuerta, you are such an.
Yeah, it's me. It's taken care of. Yes, I'm sure you have nothing more to worry about.
Oh, was Matthews in there? What's going on? Or is this just politics? Or are you talking to someone who knows about this friggin' case?
Jamie? Oh, deleted.
Any luck finding Travis Marshall?
Not yet. But I found out he works at the museum, restoring old Bibles. Suka, this isn't our guy.
Hey.
Ooh.
Sounds like you're getting close. Too close. I'm gonna have to work fast if I want to save Travis.
Dude, and then Masuka might get close too.
Yes.
I saw the news. I wasn't sure you'd be able to make our session anyway today.
Yeah, I almost canceled, but I don't know.
What was that line initially?
I could use the break.
Yeah, break.
That must have been a difficult thing to see.
You could say that.
She's got no one to talk to but this woman.
I mean, I show up, right, to question her about her brother, and 24 hours later,
Gnarly.
I can't help but feel responsible. You know, I knew that there was something that she wasn't telling me.
Must feel like you have the hand of death or something.
Do you think she knew that her brother was involved?
I think she knew something was up with him, and I think she was trying to protect him, which is
Feel it's the same way with you and Dexter?
what a good sister does. And then he ends up killing her.
I don't like this language, John.
Are all brothers assholes?
Who are we talking about now?
Who else? Dexter.
So, you think he might kill you?
I don't like this dialogue.
I don't think he's gonna kill me. I think he treats me like shit.
Oh, Deb.
He shuts me out. Won't tell me things, like really important things.
Sounds like you two are having a little trouble communicating lately.
We aren't having trouble communicating.
He is.
He's the one that's keeping all the secrets.
Normally you're pretty open with each other.
Yes. I tell him everything. I tell him about boyfriends, work.
Sounds like a lot of talking about yourself.
Aren't you supposed to be on my side?
I'm just telling you what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. You know, I can't get him to tell me shit all about jack shit.
Yeah, he never opens up about himself ever.
Maybe he doesn't think there's any room in the relationship for his needs.
She did ask him to dinner. He said no.
Maybe next time you get together, you could just make some effort to focus on him and his issues.
I wonder what that'll do.
You understand that Father Galway's dementia has progressed extensively. It isn't likely he'll remember you.
I'm not sure if that's good or bad.
Yes.
My name is
Francis Connolly. You've come to apologize for breaking the window in the narthex, I take it.
I'm sorry, Father. I'm in the wrong place.
Oh, you're not going anywhere, young man.
Oh.
You must confess your sins.
Actually, I'm okay. If I could just...
Bless me, Father,
For
I've sinned.
And it's been how long?
Sins. Okay.
How much time do you have, Father? Might be here all night.
I lied to my sister.
The freckle-faced one. Mary Grace, isn't that it? She always had a cookie in her hand, that one. How do you expect to get into heaven unless you let me absolve you of your sins?
You can do that.
Anything you confess, God will forgive.
All right.
Put it to the test.
Biney. We got Miguel Prado.
Let me get all my slide boxes together here.
We got a lot of people. I'm just going over the season villains.
I'm waiting, Francis.
I've killed people.
Continue.
Ooh.
A lot of people.
Ooh, fascinating.
Murder is a mortal sin. You must. Where were we?
Oh, no.
Confession.
Yes, of course.
God, what a performance from this guy.
I absolve you of all your sins. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost.
Amen.
Thank you.
Holy hell, I'm calling the cops.
Still gotta be a clue around here somewhere.
It's sad, isn't it? He was a wonderful priest back in the day.
Which day? What day was
Yes,
it?
he was.
Flashback.
Some Sunday mornings he has to be driven to his church because he thinks he's supposed to lead Mass.
His church.
Santa Maria de Loreto?
Does that work out?
And that's in...
It's out in Davie. But don't waste your time. It's been abandoned for...
Oh, that's where Geller's at.
Good call. Yeah.
If Geller's at that church, his hideout will make an even better kill room. I'll say goodnight to Harrison, and then I'll be on my way.
Is Jamie here with her date? No?
Hey, Dexter.
Oh, God.
Deb said I could take off since she's here.
Oh, we making dinner.
You gotta eat, right? So you can just relax and kick back. I'm making steak, which is a big deal because I can't remember the last time I cooked something that didn't involve pierced film with fork.
I told you something came up.
You're not gonna tell me what it is?
I can't talk about it right now.
You can't talk about it, or you can't talk about it with me.
Yeah.
Deb, this isn't the time. I gotta go.
Always shuts her out. I get why.
Oh, I hate it. I hate this.
You know why I came over here tonight? It was for you, asshole. So you could talk to me.
Talk about what?
Anything?
About whatever stuff you drove to Nebraska to talk about.
Please just let this go.
I am just trying to have a conversation with you.
Oh, Deb. Come on, dude. Come on. Come on, Deb. Come on. Oh, no, dude. Go. No.
I don't want to hurt you, Travis.
I think you do.
There's only one way to get the demons out of your head.
Like he's holding this phallic rod as we have this convo. Ow.
Who's out there? Don't you say a word.
Damn, I'm surprised he made so much noise when he came in the car. It's a very rookie move, no?
Yeah, you gotta be quiet. That's like step 1 of the Code of Harry. Rule number 1 is to shh.
Shocked how much noise he made. Dexter's done this 10,000 times.
Oh, I don't like this at all.
Did Geller do this to you?
Oh, did you see him behind up there?
Where is he?
Oh.
Travis, is he here?
Oh. Come on, man. Michael Myers.
Ooh.
No, I don't like this.
It's a trap.
There's a big trap. There's only, what, episode 8?
Yeah, we still got some time.
Oh, I don't like it.
Geller has seen me now. This just got much harder.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
I'll help you. I'll help you kill him.
Yes.
In my own way, I'm going to eliminate a small bit of darkness and let some light in.
Yes. I like this theme. Oh, interesting fade. Interesting fade out of the episode. Okay. Gang, if you made it to this point in the video, leave a like for Mike Anderson from Chicago.
Please.
And don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you can be notified when the next episode featuring Mike Anderson from Chicago comes your way. Also, big thanks to Prepper for cutting together these highlights, all of the specific moments featuring Mike Anderson from Chicago.
Yep.
And if you happen to be listening to this, upcoming discussion about, the various achievements and qualities of Mike Anderson from Chicago in podcast form, you can leave us a little bit of a rating. We very much appreciate that, no matter where you're listening.
Mike Anderson of Chicago would appreciate it too.
Mike Anderson of Chicago, Mike Anderson of Chicago. So Andrew.
So John.
While I pull up our little questions here, how you feeling? Season 6, episodes 7 and 8. Mike Anderson from Chicago.
Yes, I'm really enjoying this season so far. I still feel the quality is there. I'm curious to see where we're gonna go towards the as we are in the latter half now in the second half. But
Going to Chicago.
Yes, we're going to Chicago. We already went to Nebraska, so I guess Chicago's the natural path, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's been some twists and some turns as we normally get on this show, right? The show always likes to throw some curveballs, always likes to keep us on our toes. So,
like when Mike Anderson from Chicago is going to appear.
Yes,
Definitely,
exactly. Yeah. Now I'm always surprised when we don't see him, unfortunately. But
it's crazy.
The previous episode, just having Jonah and just seeing like how Dexter was taught, and also with Biney having him be the literal dark passenger for the ride. That was just such a fascinating dynamic in their interactions. And as I pointed out, just in an alternate universe, how they would be, the dynamic between the psychotic dynamic duo between them, if they were operating together and working together. And also, too, I think it just goes to show, I think the theme of this season, which obviously religion is such a big prevalent theme, and it's also a very prevalent theme throughout the show, but especially in this season, I think mentorship is such a big one.
Yeah, definitely.
And
yeah, definitely.
And I think, having just watching the season, just seeing like it's so important who you have around you as a mentor that can either guide you towards the light or, unfortunately, the darkness. You see that with Nick. He was around so many people in the wrong circles, and that led him towards the darkness, even though Brother Sam tried to guide him into the light. It was not, unfortunately, not in the nick of time, no pun intended. And then you have
and like there's so many mentor figures being all clashed together here, because it's like with Nick you have Brother Sam as the mentor, but you also have the guy, like whoever's the lead of that gang that he's affiliated with is like a different kind of, it's like mentors who feed the light versus feeding the dark.
Yeah, no, for sure. So I think that's just a very resonating theme. It just feels very emotional and just feels very grounded. So I just appreciate how they're feeding into this a great deal. And then I love when he got rid. I love the symbolism when he got rid of Biney, and then literally Harry's sticking his thumb out. So I thought that was so beautiful and so appropriate to include in there.
Yeah.
And also too, you could really feel the intensity on Jonah. He just felt like a broken shell of a human being, and I get why. After everything his dad had done, not only the physical and mental anguish that he had caused on the family, and then obviously the loss now of his mother and his sister, but just knowing that his father is one of the most gruesome, sadistic, evil beings on the planet's ever seen.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you live with something like that, but I also think it was also a very beautiful, cathartic thing, too, that finally came full circle in terms of what Brother Sam wanted for Dexter when it came to trying to forgive Nick, when it came to what he did to Brother Sam, and like, hey, try to forgive him and not take him out, and he finally did that when it came to Jonah. Now, Graham, we knew Jonah didn't take out his sister. She took her own life, knowing everything that they had to live with their father.
Especially her, man. Like the brief addressing of her situation amid the greater picture of that was like some of the most grim stuff about that. So it's really sad for that character.
Yeah, so I mean, I got a lot more to say. I'm sure the questions are going to feed into more of the stuff I do want to say, but I know I keep saying this and I sound like a broken record, but this is quite the dip in quality I'm really enjoying so far in these last 2 seasons, but this season 2 it's been very emotional. It's been very sad and tragic.
Yeah.
And there's something we will continue to talk about in this, as I like to do with my predictions. But I also pick up on tropes and I pick up on subtext. So there's a lot of stuff I'm not liking that I'm picking up on. And I'm very worried about a certain character. So we'll see what happens. But John, what did you think of the last 2 episodes?
Yeah, I've enjoyed these. I mean, I'm still on the whole very much enjoying everything. I think as of right now, I am starting to wonder, because we have a substantial amount of the season left to go. We have like ostensibly the last act, the next 4 episodes. And and we will get into this with questions. I really like a lot of what they're doing and exploring generally, and these had some really lovely scenes, I think, just on the, personal, character development tip, like, certain of the scenes between like Quinn and Deb, or Deb and the therapist, Deb and LaGuerta, a lot of Deb stuff, these 2 episodes. And just the greater kind of conversation around their relationship, and all the stuff with Brian coming back. This episode was a bit unhinged, but I do kind of appreciate a dose of that in the middle of this. And, you are getting these developments with, the Doomsday Killer and stuff like that. I am curious about... I'm not going to get too much into it because we will have questions that will address this. I can kind of see, I'm still very, like I said, very much enjoying this. Like you said, best quality dip ever. But I will say, at this moment, as of these couple episodes, just looking at the season so far and looking what's left to go, or at least how much time that is, I am at like maybe a little bit of a plateau. It's like, it's still like high bar for me. I'm still really enjoying it. In this stretch of episodes, like the kind of, I don't know, not that you always know what the big full long game is going to be of a season, but sometimes, even though you don't have the whole picture, you sort of feel like the momentum is still building in a way. And I thought this certainly had conflict and stuff like that, but the momentum, there's something to do with the way they incorporate the DDK stuff, almost, and Colin Hanks into the main plot that it's weird. It's like you have the crime scenes and stuff like that, but there's still like a certain amount of like detachment and from like the main action. And I do like Edward James Olmos a lot generally, and I think he's bringing a good, he's doing the work here. I think that character has only gotten a specific set of things to do.
Yeah.
And a lot of the more sort of emotional stuff or the more conflicted stuff goes to Colin Hanks' character, which makes sense.
Agreed.
But, like the kind of character that he is, he's kind of a normal guy who's gotten in over his head, who is maybe very impressionable and is now sort of realizing the consequences of that, which is, again, not uninteresting, but the kind of reality of what's happening behind the scenes with these 2 guys is just like a little, I don't know, it seems like, it just feels like it could be a little more flavorful or complex or have something a little deeper to say about religion and fanaticism and any number of other things, and we will get specifically into those themes with the questions.
And just really quickly to bounce off what you're saying, I agree with everything you're saying. I think, too, with each villain, each seasons with Biney, with Lila, with Miguel Prado, with the Trinity, and then with Jordan Chase, I feel like all 5 of those characters were not simply one note. We got to see different facades, kind of like what Dexter does. He's a facade of himself, right? Whenever he's around other people, and then we get the Dark Passenger, and I felt like we got a lot of that with all 5 of those characters. And with Edward James, almost like he's very chilling, he's sadistic, and he's scary, but that's all we get from him. And I want to see like a different plateau of his character as well. And I feel like he's even though I'm still enjoying the performance for sure, and he's really scary and menacing, I feel like so far, throughout 8 episodes, we've only seen one portion of his character, one note kind of thing, but just more of a nitpick. I've just been observing, whereas like in the other 5 seasons, granted, they're doing something different than the other 5 seasons, but just, again, more of an observant point of view on my end.
No, yeah, it's like they're not... Again, he's a good actor, and he's doing the work.
Oh, he's great. I'm enjoying the performance.
Yeah,
I'm just talking about the character.
I'm in no way saying that you're not. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying, like, he's a great actor. I don't think they're giving him quite as much to work with as his caliber would suggest that, as you would want to flatter his caliber with. And also, the guest star is, the prominent guest stars are part of the game of the show. To feel like you've got all this potential and we haven't quite seen it tapped just yet. Or fully explored just yet is just, it's there, and we have ample time to do that.
We still got 4 more episodes.
I'm also sitting here in the moment. I'm developing a theory, and I almost don't want to say it out loud because I have a theory based on how some of this stuff has progressed.
Wonder if we have the same theory. I'm curious.
I do too. I almost don't want to say it out loud, partly because I don't want to, like, sometimes you put out a theory and then it's like all you can see or all whoever you tell can see. So I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about it. But yeah, like generally speaking, still pretty good. This is about the point where I've started to become like, okay, so I could at least see how this season might not be as. It could go either way, and I'm rooting for them to, nail the landing. This season so far has been like pretty good. I like it a lot, and it's just not quite at the moment as like, oh man, I don't know what people are talking about. This is amazing, Not that I think this is bad or I'm still like I said, very much enjoying most of what they're doing. But there are ways as of these couple episodes where you can kind of look at the season and be like, okay, like. We'll always give the sort of let's see how they complete it before fully making the decision.
Sure,
but from here, I'm sort of like, okay, there's some things I might have maybe changed to make this richer. or whatever.
I'm still enjoying it a great deal. Just in terms of like villain ranking so far through 8, I would say this is on the lesser side, but I'm still enjoying it.
Yeah, absolutely. But we can jump into questions and
Yeah.
see what else comes up through that process.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for chiming in. We always appreciate you. And once again, if you want to see our shooting schedule day in, day out, you want to ask us a question about some movie or show coming up, you can do so over at the Patreon. Patreon.com/TheRealRejects. All right. Here we go.
Yeah.
Emma! Cool. You guys are flying through this.
We are.
Did you guys ever think that Jonah would return? And under those circumstances, I feel so bad for those two kids, never able to escape their father's actions.
I did not think we were going to go back to Jonah. Not so quickly, too. I mean, we're less than 2 seasons, right, since we last saw him. But it makes sense. We just talked about it a moment or so ago, Emma. And, being who his father was, it makes sense to come back and just see how he's doing. And then that the family would be in complete turmoil from an event like that. And being as though that their father was one of the most ruthless, evil people ever. And just to see the effect that it's had on them. And also, too, we talked about that with Jonah. Like, he used to be... And granted, we only got some glimpses of him before we saw, like, how awful the living situation was, because we thought there was just this mundane, happy family at first, even though we knew that Arthur was doing what he does.
Yeah.
But just when he was back, we thought maybe he was doing the Dexter thing where he was just
you
living
thought,
the family life.
Yeah, you thought that Trinity was doing the dark passenger thing. And also just having his cake and eating it too, living a nice life.
We didn't know until we saw it revealed that he was abusing mentally and physically his family.
And that he was such a volatile personality.
Yeah, he was a very awful person. So, but seeing Jonah at first, you saw like a very sweet, optimistic, and kind kid. Not that he wasn't kind even after we saw what his dad did, but his dad,
all-American boy.
Yes, exactly. But seeing him in this episode, seeing the intensity from him, seeing how broken he was. I mean, very understandable, and I felt so bad for him. I can only imagine growing up in an environment like that, and also the after effects.
100%.
So I think it was, granted, it took away from the main plot of the DDK that we were in. I didn't mind taking a slight breeze from it, just to revisit something that kind of, that John, myself, and the rest of the audience were so invested in, a villain that is probably, you can make an argument, one of the greatest TV villains ever. So I think it was a fascinating thing, because we were also had it's kind of like we were revisiting 2 villains in one season 1 villain and also season 4 villain. So I thought it was a fascinating thing to do, and I felt bad for him, but also I think it was a very interesting thing to do at the same point, because you get Dexter to make that promise to Brother Sam at the same point. So we were kind of doing 3 different things at once. So I thought it worked, and I thought it was nice to see what was happening with Jonah while also feeling tragic and heartbroken for him at the same time. But what did you think?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't expect him to return, but I have a resting sort of acquaintance with the idea that anybody you see who doesn't die could come back, plausibly, and they've done that to us before. Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting detour, and I'm chewing on what I think about that episode, because part of me likes it as a singular episode's detour. Another part of me feels like, especially in the Brian aspects, that you could have, and it's not to say that they won't do that some more, like, oh, maybe he hasn't just fully obliterated this projection from his mind. Maybe it'll come back. But, you know, I'm a little torn in my mind as to dealing with this all in one episode. But to the Jonah, I should say, of it all, yeah, I mean, it was interesting. And I liked the sort of conceit that, oh, there's another Trinity killing, because, you know, he did, but for what everybody, you know, who's not Dexter knows, slip away, and, you know, it's just another thing to add stakes to the, you know, Metro PD and all that stuff. But yeah, like it speaks into the twistedness and the aftermath, and I like that they hold on to that stuff, you know, in the serialization of the show. Trinity is a part of Dexter's life, and they reminded us here a part of Deb's life, and I am really rooting for them to have some kind of real heart-to-heart or reconnection, Dexter and Deb, you know, in this season somehow. But yeah, I too felt really bad for the circumstances there. And, you know, like what happens to the daughter, to his sister, is super tragic. And you know that because of what she alluded to, you know, she's probably never going to have a normal life ever. And then, you know, for what he described of his mom, it's like, yeah, it paints a very sympathetic picture, and it's a chance for Dexter it's another opportunity for Dexter to try and make good on his promise to Brother Sam. It didn't work with Nick, because Nick, you know, really brought that venging angel out of Dexter, brought that, even though it is a snap, and even though it is like a killing out of out of just pure instinct, you know, it's also spurred on by hurt and by the fact that this guy did something so heinous and has complete remorselessness, at least is showing that, you know. And there's a whole argument about, like, oh, what if you'd let him go? It would eventually come back to haunt him, and he would have maybe repent. Either way, on the heels of that, it's a nice opportunity for Dexter to give this kid a chance. And it is hard because it reminded me of that thing from season 1, I think maybe that bled over into season 2 with the young guy who is like kind of like Dexter. The guy from We're the Millers, his name's Mark L. Young, I think, that actor. He's a young guy, he kind of got like the little scene kid haircut in the first season, who's
been a while.
Dexter, I think he like stops. It's his dad. He's been abused by his dad, and so he starts like acting out, and like Dexter tries to scare him off it, and it ultimately doesn't work. And I think he has to take him out or something. It's from earlier on, but it reminded me of an echo of that. And, you know, this situation where it's like, yeah, what do I do? How do I get rid of this? How do I live past this? You know, and it's sad because you know how much trauma this kid has, and you don't know if he's going to be able to make it or not. But it is an interesting compliment to the season. It's a moment of mercy from Dexter. It's a moment for him to, you know, see that this kid is still acting out of the trauma of this, and, you know, could reclaim himself somehow.
Yeah.
And there's a question to be had. A part of me was like, is he going to mentor this kid or something? Just because there's been so much this season. And again, that's a thing about the season that is kind of fascinating me right now, and that I'm very much waiting for the conclusions on everything to assess, because, you know, there are lots of these ideas that feel like you could do more with them if you wanted to, and I don't know yet if it's appropriate to entertain the idea that they maybe should have. Because, yeah, in that moment I was like, is he going to, you know, have some hand in this kid's reclamation? Is he going to be some kind of vague support system, or is this truly just an interlude and a chance for him to confront this side of him, the animal side of him that we've seen come out through Lila? Now we're seeing again, even more emboldened by Brian, and I like that Brian is kind of here to represent his id. And yeah, I think we will talk about that in your next question. So in fact, let's jump over to Emma's next question. Emma, question 2. Also, what did you think about how they portrayed Brian? To me, it seemed much different than a manifestation of Dexter's conscience / code, like with Harry. It almost seemed like a real hallucination. He was much more physical, interacting with the real world, unlike Harry, who would just appear and give advice. Do you think it was just a new direction and writing choice, or do you think it was an intentional decision for Dexter's mental state?
That's a great question. I mean, we saw him throwing bags and all, but then we saw when he did stab the hotel guy, right? But then the next shot showed it really was Dexter. So I think it was a very fascinating way of having him interact, but I think just shows that when he really lets the dark passenger out, when he has no remorse, when he has no mercy, that this is the side of him that cannot be contained. And I think it was an interesting way to just show that where Dexter has no control. So I think that's the way I interpreted it, at least. But I like seeing the contrast between that with Harry and with Biney, because with Harry is just giving Dexter advice and saying you have free will, and versus Biney, it's like, no, this is who you are, this is what you must do, and kind of forcing it upon him. So once again,
Harry is like, you have free will and you have to choose the best way to survive and the best way to cope with this, whereas Brian is just like, let go, man, this is who you are, and don't try and put any guardrails on it.
But there's manipulation in that, for sure. Like
100%. No, totally. I mean, like,
whereas Harry's trying to steer him the right way.
Yeah, I mean, they both have like they both have an argument, and they're both making an interesting point. But I mean, obviously, so much of Dexter's character is tied up in not doing that. And I thought it was fun. I mean, everyone has different feelings about the use of personifications of, important characters for one reason or another. I liked it here due to the fact that, you have Harry as such an enduring motif of the show, and they've done some interesting things with how they present that. And here, I like that, like the second he snaps on Nick, it's a different moment. It's a different phenomenon, and it's another one of those things where you're like moved out of concern for somebody else, and he's hurting, and his friend is gone, and this guy who really seemed to have touched his life somehow, and to see somebody laugh about the lack of consequence there, and then to descend into this this primal reflexive fury that then awakens Brian. Is very interesting. And it had me flashing back to season 2, where it's like, oh God, we're feeling ourselves way too much, and we're starting to become unhinged, and he's like driving around and shooting out the window, and there's all this CGI. It was like a real fever dream, that episode. And I mean, I am curious, because on the one hand, it makes sense to me that he's just spent so much time in life with Harry. So I feel like there is a level of it's his dad, different demeanor, different kind of guy, and so he presents in a mellower way and in a more fatherly capacity, whereas Brian is somebody he only knew briefly and who he has a whole lot of ideas surrounding. So it makes sense for me in a way that, like, his personification of him in his mind, and again, to me, it's like Harry is the sort of struggle with his conscience, and Brian is the representation of his animal instincts, his id, his base nature. And so for that to be a more hedonistically presenting character makes sense. I was sitting there going, did Dexter eat a burger? And he's just imagining is Dexter walking around with a burger and just imagining that he's at the table? Or is this purely just Brian might be eating a burger because he's just way more.
It's both.
It's ways to show and establish that, he thinks of Dexter as a stick in the mud who should let himself off the leash, and look, by contrast, how relaxed he is and how kind of carefree he is in what he's doing and how he's interacting. And there is like some fun there, because obviously there's no restraint to play as Rudy or anybody like that. So like, it's really fun. Like, as a big fan of obviously season 1, the Ice Truck Killer stuff, that left such a huge the ice cream truck.
Thank you.
And that left such a huge impression that having them back here for like a wild road trip episode was really cool and fun. I can understand any number of specific opinions from people, pro or con, about how they chose to portray him here, but given the tone of the episode, like, it does have a hallucinatory feel, but I don't think it's 100% that. I think it's a part of himself that he has worked very hard to corral and to cope with and to build mechanisms. It's all the Code of Harry stuff has sort of been put into place so that this isn't the person steering a lot, but it does feel like, this is the dark passenger, and it's not just, a grim, evil, shadowy figure. It's, you know, it's the familiar face. It's somebody with a sense of humor and with a perspective. And yeah, it feels very much in contrast to what's happening inside of Dexter, which is, you know, he's sort of grappling with this and certainly indulging in this deep end.
Yeah.
And you see Dexter sort of in times personify that wilder behavior and stuff like that. But then it also, again, when he comes back to fretting over the code and defending the code, and then ultimately the realization that, like, shit, this kid doesn't want to die, and I don't actually want that sense. It's not about watching the life leave someone's eyes for me, and, you know, having this ultimate rejection of Brian's way of doing things, and again, the rejection of letting his base instincts walk unfettered, mitigated. You know, we reject that, and thus Brian disappears. So, like, as a bottle in isolation, I like it a lot. I'm still kind of chewing on how I feel about it in totality of the season. But it was definitely vivid. It was definitely interesting.
I think if a theory that I think we're both.
Does it involve Colin Hanks?
No.
Okay.
Okay. So
I have a Colin Hanks related theory.
Oh, I have a different character related theory that.
Well, it regards Colin Hanks and Edward James Olmos.
Oh, okay. I'm curious what that is. If you don't want to say it on camera, you can tell me off camera. But it's a different character. I mean, they've kind of made it a little obvious what's possibly going to happen, but hope it doesn't happen. But if
do you have a Louis theory?
Well, possibly with that too. But if another character, if something happens,
did you say Mike from Chicago?
Yes, it's Mike from Chicago. If something happens,
Mike from Chicago.
If something happens to Mike from Chicago,
Mike Anderson.
If something happens to Mike Anderson from Chicago, I really feel like Biney could be back, and we could be paying another visit with that. So I'm anxious to see where that goes. Where if he really does lose control, and I feel like he's going to need that faith now that he's starting to read the Bible. So I'm actually very interested in that portion and that side of Dexter, because we did get a little glimpse of that. I was like, wow, this book is actually working, even though he was speaking the language of someone like Travis's character who is into faith.
Yeah.
So, but still, to see Dexter like actually buying into this now and believing in something that's bigger than himself, I found that very fascinating. So curious to see where that goes, especially if something dark does loom in Dexter's future. I actually didn't mean to say that, but that came out perfectly. But if something does happen like really bad, I'm curious to see where how much he's going to rely on faith, especially if Biney does make a return and Harry does take a little bit of a break, especially more of a prevalent return. It's going to be interesting to see the contrast there with how he's going to be dealing with the religious side versus like someone like Biney that's going to be in his subconscious on the regular.
Yeah, I mean, like, the door is certainly open for him to show back up again. Because put one thing too, and then we'll move on. Is that episode especially? Because you asked here, like, you know, does it feel more like a hallucination? You know, some kind of something like intentionally different than what's happening with Harry versus just a stylistic flourish. And the episode, it did feel like someone acting out, or like someone, like going into what am I trying? What's the phrase I'm trying to pull? Like it felt like, just like one of those interludes where someone goes through something and they have to act out before coming back to themselves and kind of realizing what's going on. You know, it felt like this sort of knee-jerk response. What is the phrase I'm looking for?
You're gonna find it.
It felt like a concentrated burst of somebody acting out,
Sure.
and then coming back to center once they got to the end of throwing this fit, so to speak.
Yeah, but I did love that reveal though, where it did look like Bonnie was stabbing the guy with the pitchfork, and then we got and then it showed like the different perspective changing on the camera, and then you see that it was Dexter. That was so intriguing and so fascinating to see. But really gave me some Michael Myers vibes in Halloween 5 too. But that was cool to see, like that shift in perspective right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Goodness gracious. Leave us your thoughts on Brian, on the Jonah return. Let's move on to Jaden Rhodes. Thank you again, Emma, for chiming in. Jaden.
Appreciate you. All right. This season takes on a big religious angle. The fandom for the show doesn't really like it. I hate to agree, but I do agree. I don't care for any of it. I think it just doesn't really interest me as much as the other storylines. I'm curious if y'all like that, and y'all think this is the weakest season so far. John, what say you?
Yeah, I am torn about this because
we're still not at the end, but this is 8 episodes in. We're answering.
Yeah, it's weird. With the exit of Brother Sam, I feel like I've loved the first half of the season so far.
Yes.
And as of these 2 episodes, he is gone. And so we are kind of shifting the board again. And obviously, we had a bit of a departure from things with the, trip to Nebraska, this interlude, this fugue state thing that's happening. But yeah, it's weird because this should very much appeal to me, and a lot of it does. Like, I think as much as I don't seek out a ton of true crime stuff in my day-to-day life, I can definitely be engrossed by that in a setting like this. And certainly the first season had such a striking use of the true crime elements, the serial killer elements. And so being somebody who grew up with the church and grew up in Catholic school and stuff like that, and has certainly heard a lot of different doomsday theories and passages from the Book of Revelation and all that stuff, it's a natural place for a show like this to go. It's subject matter that appeals to me. Religious horror I enjoy, and again, the nature of the tableaus I think is really interesting and really striking, brings a lot of mood. And I do like, among the different things the show does, I like a lot when you still get, Metro Homicide doing their thing, finding these crime scenes, trying to decode all that stuff. So, yeah, it's weird. It's like I like the religious angle in one breath because it's been pretty interesting up to this point, largely through Brother Sam, because Brother Sam has presented the part of that applies directly to Dexter that is more compelling, that is... a good counterweight. The problem is, like, everything happening with Olmos and Colin Hanks, like, it all makes sense. And I think all the pieces are here and all the themes, I get it, but at the same time, as of this shift to the second half of the season, I am, again, curious as to how this will land and if it will continue what I feel like has been a mostly upward trajectory so far. Like I mentioned earlier, it feels a bit like a plateau, partly because, Olmos is... It's the first time I think that a guest star has felt like, oh yeah, you're here to play a type of character. It's kind of like in Jack Reacher season 2 is a weird pull, but Reacher season 2 has Robert Patrick. Love Robert Patrick. He came by the studio. It was really cool. Talked to him. Guy, but he's in that season, and you're like, oh sick, Robert Patrick's gonna be in Reacher, and he's good, but he's like doing shit that you've seen him do a bunch of times, and they don't give him like a heck of a lot of dimensionality as a character, and so it's like neat, but it's not as impactful as it could be. And so from the top of the season, I was like, oh shit, Olmos and Colin Hanks, like totally different stature of actors. Really excited for the concept of that. And weirdly enough, like the stuff surrounding them has felt the most like straightforward in a way. And it's like I understand what's going on with the two of them and the fact that it relates with the whole mentor-mentee. How do you feed the light and dark in people? How do you either lead with love or with fear? Various things. But it is one element that doesn't feel as unique to Dexter as it could. Especially, again, it's weird. It's like I'm waiting for the Olmos and Colin Hanks stuff to level up in some capacity. It's like the kills are neat, the context is neat, the idea of discussing religion and faith and something bigger than ourselves in this show at this point makes a lot of sense. But yes, I would agree that there's like something off at the moment that is at least, tempering some of the, I'm like, okay, I can see some edges on this a little bit, whereas before I've been mostly pretty enthused by all of the upswing,
Yeah, no, I would agree with everything you just said as well, my Gianizio. And I would also just add on that Brother Sam, the religious angle stuff with Brother Sam and how he was trying to just get that to just to gestate that over to Dexter and be a positive light over to him. Like, I found that to be quite striking, very fascinating. And then when it comes to Professor Geller, and when it comes to Travis, there are some times when it comes to their interactions and their dialogue that I am understanding perspective, and I am enjoying what they are not enjoying, but I'm understanding what they are saying, and just understanding the angle of where they're coming from, and am fascinated by it, no doubt. And
I feel like they could give us
Yeah,
more intimate
but-
looks at them,
but there's
in a way
sorry,
that
go.
like gives them a little more spice or
Yeah,
flavor.
sure,
You know, like
sure,
you got to
sure.
really observe.
But-
They play with perspective.
But I think you nailed it, where it's like when the Miami PD is investigating them, and then we're seeing like the actual gruesome kills. Like that's the stuff like I'm most intrigued and engaged in. Whereas seasons 1 through 5, whenever the villains were on screen, whether they were being a facade of themselves or they were doing the nefarious, crazy stuff,
Yeah.
I was always fully engaged. Whereas with these two, and it's again nothing with their performance. It's just more of a questionability of their characters. And when I'm watching them, there's just times where it's dragging a bit, and I'm just not as into it as I quite want to be. Whereas
they could be writing more interesting
yeah,
stuff.
for sure,
there.
for sure. Whereas with Brother Sam, I was locked in every second, no matter what he was saying.
He's
and doing.
outshined everybody. Like
Yeah.
he has,
Yeah.
There's like at the moment, again, we're only 2 episodes into. We're only a third of the way into the second half of the season. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait.
I'm
to
excited
see
for all
4 more
these things to
episodes.
be worked out in the
Yeah.
next handful of episodes.
Yeah.
But it is such that like Mose has overshadowed everybody.
Yeah, I've
this
still
season.
enjoyed the season, but I can say right now through 8 episodes, this has been the weakest villain for me through 6 seasons. So far through 8 episodes, I will say.
Geller and Travis, it's like they haven't quite, aside from the kills that are involved with them and some of the iconography and some of the little details and flourishes and style choices, their characters, out of all of them so far across the show, feel like they are. I'm still waiting for the thing that makes them like, oh yeah, this is the Dexter
Stand
version
out.
of these characters. I've seen these characters before, and there's a whole lot of like, yeah, okay, so there's the will he, won't he with Colin Hanks. Is he going to leave? Is he going to double down? He's teetering back and forth, and he just wants out. And I'm interested in that, but I'm not. I don't know. He's not. They haven't given him so many interesting layers. He just
Yeah.
feels kind of like an impressionable guy who's well-meaning and got pulled into the wrong thing, which happens, which is real, which is
Right.
fine. But yeah, it's like in a show where you've gotten to observe the sort of strange nuances of these people's minds. I feel like we've gotten kind of the least of that with these two in a
Sure,
way that's
sure.
like, again, that feels like, oh yeah, that's Dexter. That's how Dexter would do this type of storyline. Or, Geller, it's like he mostly comes across like a villain rather than a guy who, is in this megalomaniacal position and is doing these horrific things and believes that he is the conduit for God. Like, I feel like you could do something to make that more striking. Because here, it's like, he's that whole it's like the thing where he tells Colin Hanks he's free. And then pretty soon, pretty directly sort of manipulates him back into the fold, or just like sort of forces him back
Yeah.
because I need you and I'm going to, go after your sister. And it's like, cool, that's fine. It's not a bad choice. But yeah, it's like I wish with him there was another layer where I felt something additional about his humanity and how he got to be this person, or something to make
Nope.
him more scary. Like, it's weird. He like almost has shown up, but yeah, it's like they needed like an additional layer of seasoning.
What
an
I know
additional
about
layer
him is
of
he was sent here to do
context.
God's work.
That's what I know.
Get rid of all sinners.
That's what I know.
Cleanse the earth. That's what I know about him.
I have to go back and consider the logistics, but I'm considering a twist that involves the two of them that might explain why the season appears the way it does so far. But
He's really his father.
yeah.
I knew it, John.
Oh, or something. He's really something. Anyway, we can move on from that. I'll see next week if I want to name check. You could probably extrapolate where I'm trying to go with that. But Jay Rushton,
What up, Jay?
closing us out. Question: was the reveal in the show about Dexter seeing people a surprise, or is this normal for the show? So you mean like seeing Rudy, seeing Brian Biney?
If that was the case, then no, just because he's been with Harry in his subconscious just throughout the entire show, so it wasn't a surprise for me. It was a cool reveal. I'll definitely say that, but I would not say I was surprised because throughout seasons 1 through 6, we've had. Well, actually, no, it was season 1 where we got flashbacks of Harry, right? And was it season 2 or was it season 3 when Harry started going into his where Harry was in his
started being in the room. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I wouldn't say surprise, but I would just say awesome reveal. And I'm just curious if certain events play out that I have in my head, if this is going to be a foreshadowing of possibility for Biney to be there. I would even find it to be quite a clash too if you have Harry and Biney just like interacting with each other in the subconscious. I think that'd be an interesting place to go personally, but you know, that's we'll have to see if that ever happens. But were you surprised to see Biney in his subconscious?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a surprise to see him show up, and you know, it's fun because I thought he did a terrific job, and he doesn't seem like he's aged a day.
Yes.
And I mean, it's not if other people started showing up, I might be more surprised. Or I didn't get the sense from this that like Dexter hallucinates people regularly who aren't Harry. And oftentimes when Harry appears, it does feel like Dexter's more in dialogue with himself rather than you sitting there wondering, like, what's Dexter doing while Harry's doing stuff? Whereas with Brian here, there is like a small but greater than with Harry degree of that, where you're like, what are the rules about this? You know, but he's alone with his victim, so like it doesn't matter that much. But yeah, you know, I think it makes a lot of sense. So I wasn't too surprised. Of all the other people to show up as a projection of one side of his brain, Brian made the perfect sense to me. Sure. You know, if they expand that further and like Rita shows up or something, that would be interesting. I'd be open to it. Like it's a tough trope because it gets used a lot, and I think thus far in the show they've done a good job of earning and using it well. And again, that episode feels like a fever dream in a way, so I'm still kind of chewing on it. But in isolation, I got a big kick out of it, and it was a nice surprise for sure.
Agreed. And just really quickly before we close it out, we didn't really talk about the closure that Quinn and Deborah got when they had that.
That was really nice.
That was a really sweet thing when they just were both being very sympathetic towards one another and very compassionate in the way they spoke to each other.
Yeah.
I thought it was very sad, and I just felt that's the way to adults should amicably break up with each other, although it was heartbreaking just for us because you could see how much they were both hurting from what was happening. So for them to just have that cathartic conversation was very bittersweet and sad at the same time. So I'm glad that they had the conversation.
I love that conversation.
Yeah, no, it was.
I'm so glad. In fact,
yeah,
like it's really a refreshing.
I thought it was
moment.
a great scene too. Just for those two actors just nailed it really well.
So rarely do you get that, and I mean, I'm worried for Quinn because he's clearly in a bad place. But I did like that they could after everything too with Deborah's birthday.
Yeah.
It was it was a really lovely scene.
For sure,
really lovely scene.
Yeah, and at Deborah's, like you said, at Deborah's housewarming party.
Yeah,
where they say, no, you're good. And then also too, I'm just with Deborah. I feel so bad for her right now too that she feels she has really, because everyone is kind of alienating her at work because of her new role, and they don't feel she's part of the gang anymore. She feels Dexter is the only one she has to talk to, and he's not even, you know, reciprocating her feelings and talking to her at all either. And now she's got this therapist that she's talking to, so she's really isolated and alone right now. And then LaGuarta is like asking her to do like the offensive and wrong thing. Like, not even the thing they signed up to do is to get justice in the.
They're playing the numbers rather than actually,
it's like to play politics. So it's so sad. I really feel bad for Deborah right now. She is just in so many different areas, whether it comes to Quinn, whether it comes to her friends at the office, whether it comes to Dexter, to LaGuarta. I mean, she is dealing with a multitude of things. And then you got the fact that she found the card with Lisa. I mean,
that hurt.
There's
been a lot of good Deb stuff, or at least like they've given her a lot of interesting and very relatable, just struggle to deal with.
I will continue to sing that woman's praises. Jennifer Carpenter is such an amazing actor. She really knows how to let it out, wear her heart on her sleeve as an actress, and just emote in such a way that you can feel it as an audience member. She's just incredible, and
100%. I'm
just so grateful to watch her as a fan of movies and TV shows.
Yeah, same. And I mean, I really hope that she and Dexter have some kind of heart-to-heart, and
I
do
would
some
hope.
bonding, do some
Yeah.
repairing of their relationship. Because it's interesting to watch Deb make some breakthroughs when she's finally so isolated she's got to go to therapy, and to make some breakthroughs in terms of like how she wants and needs to be treated.
Yeah.
Like it hurts when Dexter has to make these choices, and when he's all sort of skittish and he doesn't want to reveal anything, and you're like, dude, you're gonna come off even more suspicious. And yeah, I feel the tension of their personal relationship, and God, am I rooting for them too.
Yeah, and last thing, and I'm done. I know we've talked about it many times. Apologies for
It's all good.
repeating,
What is
but
it? What do we got?
I just don't know about this guy Jamie's dating, Vince's assistant.
Yeah.
They might be throwing us for
All
a
the
curveball.
assistants are
No,
sus.
of course. They might be just throwing us for a curveball, and he's just a big fan of Dexter and just likes working in the lab, and that's it. Very simplistic. I don't know.
I don't know what's going on there, but I don't fully trust
He
it.
deleted that message so quickly when Jamie texted him. Not only that, but when Angel threatened him and like just said like you better not hurt my sister, or like you better like let her live her life, whatever he said to her, and he didn't really flinch at that or get like just from the way
he had one of those sort of like
Yeah, no,
it
he
was
gave
one of
a-
those like
he gave a-
awkward beat like, oh, you must be serious.
He
kinda
gave a
looks.
look, but usually when a guy like that sees a gun and like it's usually more of intimidation and okay, I will obey your orders type of look, and I'm kind of scared and I'm peeing my pants. He didn't have any of that as far as I was reading and observing him.
I'd have to go back and look at it.
That's how I felt when I watched it, but maybe I'm just
Yeah.
I'm looking for a psychopath here.
I mean,
so-
I could. This guy works at a police station,
I guess
so like
so.
it's
I
not the
guess so.
first gun he's ever seen. But
Fair enough,
you know,
fair enough.
I could. It's like you're observant enough that I do trust your instincts when it's like I'd have to go back and look
Something
at
is
the
off.
look.
Something's off
'Cause-
about him.
And yeah, it's part of the game is like, okay, so is this whole thing with Vince's interns just a bit, or is it, which is fun enough as it is. I know I saw it. Or is there was already something up with Ryan. What's up with this guy? And,
They're
it's
secretly a couple.
maybe. And, and there's enough there too, where you're sort of like, well, we had one weird assistant who did some shady stuff. Can we have two in a row? But you never know. And so, yeah, like I'd have to go back and look at the look to see if it's just like a sort of understated, like, oh shit, this guy means business, or like, oh, you want to play? You don't even know what you're in for, brother.
Can I ask you a question? Like, is it weird that, and obviously I'm anxious to see what the resolve is with Professor Geller and Travis, but I'm almost more intrigued at what's going on with that character than I am with the religious storyline of Professor Geller and Travis. Obviously, I still want to see the resolve of that, but I want to know what the hell's going on there with that guy. Like, that has
Yeah.
me out more on my toes than...
It just
that's-
feels more
Yeah,
mysterious.
yeah, it does, and we
Yeah.
barely spend any time with him.
Yeah, that's part of it, and yeah, it's like I think that's a good thing to kind of close out on. Is like I guess I would like to feel a greater sense of like, oh, there's more twistedness to come with these two guys. What's really what is it that I'm not seeing beyond just what's apparent?
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's what I'm hoping for, because thus
See.
far, so many of the villains have either just been, involved with such intricate plots and scenarios, or are just such interesting, twisted people.
Agreed.
And here, yeah, it's like everything's kind of superficially there, but yeah, I would like to feel like, oh no, there's some kind of greater shoe that's going to drop, or some kind of new development that's going to, really make this twisted in a unique type of way. But either way,
We'll see
still
what
having a
happens.
good time.
Yeah,
And,
no, I'm still enjoying this season too, for sure.
yeah, it's been a privilege. And gang, if you're still enjoying us watching this show and chatting about it, if you're still enjoying being along for the ride, we appreciate you. Don't forget to share the video out, leave a like.
For Mike Anderson from Chicago.
For Mike Anderson from Chicago, comment about Mike Anderson from Chicago. Share it with anybody who likes Dexter, and hopefully we can scale the whole mountain, the entire thing, get to the
Please,
summit with
please,
resurrection, all that good
please,
stuff.
I want to see it all.
Anyway, be good out there, say your prayers, and we'll catch you next time.